Welcome into PFF HQ. Austin Gayle here with Mike Renner. Ready to talk some Washington Redskins. With the Alex Smith injury, it puts them into a tough cap situation. But for 2019, they need some young players on both sides of the ball to take the next step in order for this to be a successful season and to be a successful team down the road when they eventually do get out of that cap situation. Starting on the defensive side of the ball, moving into his third year in the NFL, Jonathan Allen really needs to take that next step.
Yeah, we've kind of seen it teased for games, for a few plays that highlight real ability that we saw at Alabama, but the consistency, down in, down out, as a run defender, pass rusher, just not at the level we thought we'd see from him. Now, only 2 years into his career, had that injury in year one that really set him back, but I think this is the year. In year three, if he doesn't take that step into the sort of high-quality starter that, that level right below Fletcher Cox and Aaron Donald. I don't think he's ever going to be at that level because he's not that level athletically, but he's so good with his hands, was so good with his hands at Alabama. I just want to see him make more of an impact down in, down out, because this is a front seven that's one of the more up-and-coming front sevens in the NFL. To have a high-quality starter like a Jonathan Allen in it, if he takes that next step, would be a huge boost for that defense.
There's a lot of potential up front. Added Montez Sweat, obviously, Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kerrigan's still there, Daron Payne. There's a lot there if Jonathan Allen can take that next step for them to be one of the best in the NFL. Going to the secondary, a lot more question marks. Outside of Josh Norman, there really isn't a name in that secondary that you're happy about. Talk to me about Quinton Dunbar.
Yeah, Quinton Dunbar is the guy I'm looking at to say he's teased it again over the course of his career. He had that 2017 season that earned him an extension, 78.7 coverage grade, earned him the starting spot at the beginning of last year, and he came out like a house on fire that first game against Arizona, had a pick, 2 pass breakups, but then kind of tailed off until he ended up going on IR, had some injury issues, and so I want to see him, if he's fully healthy, I want to see him earn that extension, be that guy across from Josh Norman that was what they thought a quality starting cornerback.
Probably the most obvious name that needs to be on this list. It's their first-round pick in Dwayne Haskins. If he doesn't perform well, this team is in for a long road to recovery. I think with Dwayne Haskins, what does he need to do in year one for him to have a successful season?
I just think he needs to see the field. He has to be able to come in and say, I am a better option right now than Case Keenum is. If you're starting Case Keenum for all this season, as a Redskins fan, you should be pretty upset because that means that Haskins was not ready to see the field. We know what Keenum is at this point. Now, he's not, you can do far worse at the position in the NFL, but you can also do far better. We want to see Dwayne Haskins be far better than what Case Keenum was to warrant that first-round pick that they used on him. So he doesn't have to start right out the gate, but I think at some point you need to see him hit the football field because he has a long way to go from a developmental standpoint. Played in a very, sort of college-y Ohio State offense, but he has all the tools to be a competent NFL quarterback. And at this moment, you need to see what you have because you need to evaluate the quarterback position. With Alex Smith's injury, he's probably never going to play in the NFL again. That's just the reality of it. And so you need to give Dwayne Haskins as much opportunity on the football field so when Alex Smith's contract does come off the books in a couple of years, you can either say, yes, Dwayne Haskins is our guy. We have him cheap on a rookie contract entering his prime, or we're going to go back to the drawing board, back to the well, draft another guy in a couple of years.
Whether it's Haskins or Keenum, throwing the ball in Washington, Josh Dotson needs to step up. He needs to flash the potential we saw at TCU. Maybe it's too late. Maybe he can't reach that, take that step, but he really does. If this Washington Redskins team is going to be good, he needs to get to the next level.
The good news for Redskins fans is the learning curve at the wide receiver position. We've seen it be as steep as ever with some of these college offenses. And at TCU, that offense he was playing in was very college-y. He was not facing a lot of press, a lot of clean releases, and we've seen him struggle against press at the NFL level, struggle to get open. But we've seen some guys turn around. Devontae Adams, most notably Nelson Aguilar, has turned around his career as well after some slow starts. But, man, it was slow for Josh Dotson this past season, a 61.6 passer rating. When they targeted Josh Dotson in that Washington Redskins offense, he just really struggles to separate at this point in his career, but he has that highlight reel jump ball ability. He has all the athleticism. This really is a make-or-break year for him. If he takes the next step, it will go a long way towards Dwayne Haskins' development, just towards that Redskins offense, regaining its form that we saw from a few years ago.
To tie a bow on this video, talk to me what an ideal but realistic ideal situation looks like for the Washington Redskins in 2019.
Yeah, I think with Jay Gruden as your head coach, he has proven to be one of the better head coaches in the NFL. They have gotten more from less than a lot of teams around the league, consistently competitive, So I think if you can get back to the 7-9, 8-8 sort of mark, if you can get Dwayne Haskins looking like a competent rookie starting quarterback and get your team to that level, and I think they have the defense to do it there. They have the pieces defensively to do it. I think you have to hold on to Gruden, have to let him develop this young quarterback. But chances are, with what we're seeing offensively, with Trent Williams wanting out, it might not go as planned, but that's why these 4 guys, very key to all of that. If all of them can take those sort of next steps forward, I think we'll be looking at a Redskins team that will be competitive in the NFC East.
All eyes on Haskins and some of the other young players in Washington in 2019. For more videos like this from Pro Football Focus, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, or better yet, check out the site at profootballfocus.com.